everybody. Welcome to Vintage Craft and Chat. It is a very wet Thursday morning here in Southern California. I'll tell you a little bit about that. It's been quite a crazy morning here. I saw Leanne had popped in to the comments and said that she's frantically looking for her. Yay. I'm glad you found them, because I said, literally, I wish I could give you some of mine. So the whole reason I've been in this big stash busting thing, I'm trying to use what I have in my craft supplies. I'm trying not to add a lot of craft supplies going into the year because I have way too much. But literally, look at how many doilies I have. So I picked up a few here and there at the thrift stores, but I literally came upon, there's probably like 1,000 of them in here at one of my little local thrift stores. But some of them are so cool. Look at these. I think some of these are quite old. Look how, let's see if that'll come through. Look how beautiful that is. So I couldn't resist. I do not need this many doilies. Yeah, I have this whole pile. I'm throwing them on the floor, and I have this whole bag. In fact, I just stuck them in the bag the other day. So, hi, Kathy. Hello. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I know. What is it? What is it about, like, paper, especially paper things, right? It's so difficult to turn down. Like, clearly I need more. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Yeah, and I mean, I stuck them in this bag the other day. Where's some of them? Some of them are just like, look at these. I mean, I couldn't resist these. Look at this. Look at these. Aren't those gorgeous? So, and then of course, the ironic thing is the doilies that I ended up using for our craft today are from the Dollar Tree, and doilies that I bought several years ago. So I had some heart-shaped in that thrift store pickup, but they were too small. I tried to work with them and they were too small. So I ended up, yes, these are the ones that we will be using today. They are the 8 by 8 inch heart-shaped doilies, and I'm pretty darn sure I have not, again, because I'm not buying stuff. I haven't been into Dollar Tree this Valentine season, but I'm sure they have these all the time. They are too. Doilies are great for decorating. In fact, I don't know why I should have. As you can see, I kind of changed out yesterday for Valentine's Day. Changed out my little display here. So cute to just, put on a tiered tray, use for, hors d'oeuvres. And obviously the original use for them was for cooking and underneath, pastries and cookies. Yes. Oh, you do? You have the, oh, yes. Yes. I'm glad you have the 8 by 8 hearts. Good. And Dollar Tree also, I showed those at the end of last Thursday's thing. Do I have here? They also have some red ones, but as I kind of complained, they're I keep calling them tomato soup red. They're not a hot pink. They're not a primary red. They're kind of, but I did not choose a good background color for this one. This was one of my first demos, so I think I probably made it even peachier, whatever, kind of a weird red, the color I use. So yes. Well, wait, let's see. Let's wait just a few more minutes to see if we have some more people come in. And yeah, so it's been quite a day. We have been having torrential rains here. I live in Rancho Palos Verdes in Southern California, and we had torrential rains this morning. I've lived in California my entire life. I've lived in this area for, I don't know, 30, 35 years, been in this home now for 15. I have never seen the rains this bad. so my son did get his driver's license last Thursday, passed his test. So it was very exciting. And he started driving Friday. So he's been driving himself. I did not want him driving this morning because, you know, he's not a super experienced driver in the rain. So that made me a little bit nervous. So I said, well, I'm going to drive you this morning. And it was scary. There were mudslides on the roads. One road, the road that we took up, we didn't go the coast, and glad we didn't, because when I got home, I saw that it was completely closed. So we kind of went the inland road, and there's two, and we live on a big hill here. So everything just comes down. It's just, they call it the hill. Uh, literally, like when you say, oh, I'm going up the hill, which is like where the mall and city hall and stuff, that's closer to the top of the hill. But so there's two really steep roads to go up to his school, and I chose to do the second one that goes alongside of his school. And literally, it was like driving through lakes. There were huge rocks, like there were big boulders on the kind of off to the side of the road, and then several instances like big rocks that we were driving over. It was so crazy. So anyway, that's a kind of, yeah, it's been kind of a crazy morning. And it's very dark here too. When I change my camera around to the down cam, I can't get it any brighter. I don't even, like, I don't have any lamps. I have my ring light on, and I have the overhead here on the dining room table, but it is so dark. So yes, I would not have wanted him to drive in that. In fact, my husband, we have a friend that lives close by, a childhood friend of my husband's, and he's out of town skiing. And he had called my husband frantically because his wife is home and one of their daughters, and the downstairs of their house was flooding. So Jim like got a pump at work and ran over there, but I think it wasn't working properly. So then he was going to go to the hardware store and pick another one up. Hi, Connie. Yeah, I never. So, yeah, my husband's like, oh, you probably should have kept him home from school. And now it's not raining. It's maybe a little sprinkles. So I think it was going to go through like 11:30, 11:15. It's 11 o'clock, 11:07 here right now. But it's very scary. So thinking good thoughts for anybody here in Southern California that's experiencing flooding and things from the rain. It's just, yeah, so crazy. So, okay. I think I chit-chatted enough. So today we are going to be making, and the supplies are in the description. So you can run around if you want to run around and grab. You can put us on hold. Certainly, and go gather your supplies. If you're watching the replay, again, put us on hold, but you can craft along later. But today we are making envelopes out of these heart-shaped doilies, and I'll show those again for anybody that came in late. And I thought this would be the perfect size. So here's the front of the envelope, and then here's the, what do you call this? This is the tab, the flap. I guess it's called the flap. And we're going to decorate the back. And again, how you decorate it is all up to you. It's kind of fun. You can take the envelope and how to fold it, how to make it, and kind of run with it. But I thought these were the perfect size to put a little gift card in. So you could put a little love note. You can put a little gift card in there. So I thought that was kind of fun for your Valentine. So that's what we'll be making. And of course I literally threw it onto the floor. Connie or anybody else is coming in later. Today we are using the 8x8 inch heart-shaped doilies from Dollar Tree. And you can definitely, I don't know if they come larger, but you can play around with it. You can make little tiny envelopes with smaller hearts. So this is pretty useful, Okay, here. All right, so I'm going to change actually, I'm going to just bring it around because I don't want to make you guys kind of seasick. I'm going to bring this down, and then change the camera angle. Might have to adjust it a little bit here once it comes on. And let me push this back. Oh, that'll help out. That'll help a little bit. Oops. Push my laptop back a little bit so we don't get that. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, and apologize again. It feels like it's 5 o'clock at night. So dark here with all this rain going on. Get this off here. Okay, let me put this over here. Actually, let me get back into YouTube. I had gotten out here. Let me go back in. We are good. Okay. So first thing, I want to make sure I just have one doily, which it looks like I do. When I was making these the other day, it's so easy to have two, but if you do have two that are stuck together, you can't, it's pretty easy that the top layer will come off. And let me grab my paper here. It's so squishy where I craft. Okay, good, Leanne. I was so afraid it was going to be so dark. So the paper, I made a post on Instagram yesterday. The paper that I use, and you can play around, you can use thicker paper, you know, anything you like. I didn't play with the thicker paper. I think it probably would work, but it would, what do I want to say? It might crack. It might be a little more difficult to fold the envelope. So I used really thin decorative paper. I happen to have some that was a double-sided. Again, I picked this up at a thrift store, so I was glad I was using what was in my stash. And it's probably just slightly thicker than, oh, good, Kathy, good. I'm glad it doesn't look too dark. It's slightly thicker than copy paper. So you could definitely use copy paper, or colored copy paper would look really pretty, because when you open the envelope, you're still going to see that nice pop of color on the inside. So we are going to lay our paper down, and I'm a real turquoise girl. I love, wait, let me get rid of that little thing so we can see a little bit better. In fact, I took off my name that I usually have down in the corner. And yeah, I'm a turquoise girl, so I'm going to leave the turquoise up so that it shows through the doily. And I found the best thing was to use a glue stick for the middle part of the doily. So we're going to glue down this big area here in the middle. We're going to use a glue stick for that. And the two glues that I tried and I used for this project were glue stick and art glitter glue. But you can definitely play around with different glues. The only reason I didn't use the glue stick for the whole thing is because of these holes. You can kind of see the glue stick comes through the holes. So kind of trial and error. I found that was not the best glue to use. And what I like too about the art glitter glue is it has the little precision tip on it. And you'll get a little bit of glue that comes through, and these doilies are somewhat porous, especially here in the middle. So you will get a little, even the glue stick comes through a little bit, but just brush it aside. We're used to having glue all over our hands. I'm gonna go back down so I can kind of watch. Oops, here. What are we doing here? Sorry about that. The glue is on my finger and I can't I can't put the slide bar down because of the glue. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, good. Okay, so we've glued down our center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my art glitter glue and I'm just going to glue it down in sections. Let's get this little, what do you call it? Gets that little dried stuff off the end there. Wow, it's like really It is really stuck there. Holy moly. I have not, did not craft this whole past week. I'll kind of fill you guys in on that as we go here. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around and I'm just going to go in sections. So in fact, let me see if I can come down even a little bit lower. There we go. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to fill in. A little goes a long way. This part is a little tedious because I'm going in here along all the lines. Of course, the design of your doily will kind of dictate how you will have to glue it down. And just kind of going in here. And what is nice too, once you get most of the glue down, and if you have a little pieces that are sticking up, you can just go back around and glue those down. That's what's so great about these precision tip glues. I'm a big fan. I do not know what I did before our glitter glue. I guess I used a lot of, I was a big Fabri-Tac user, and you could try Fabri-Tac too, but I really think the precision tip is really, really good for this. And you can see it just, yeah, it really sticks it down there. And how many people are crafting along? Are you crafting along, Leanne? How about you, Kathy? And let me know, is that good? Do you guys like that I'm adding the supplies in ahead of time so you have time to gather them over the week and craft along? I thought that was kind of a fun idea. I did that a little bit when I was active on YouTube over a year ago. Kind of came up with that, and I thought that was kind of fun. Oh, are you running errands, Connie? Well, we're glad you're here, though. We are glad you're here. You're still choosing your paper, Leanne? Yeah, the nice thing is it'll be pretty quick once you find your paper. I think the longer part for me is decorating, just kind of deciding what I wanted to put for the collage on the back. And I was really excited about this whole project. So one thing about me, I tend to craft more in 3D, I guess what we call it. I do a lot of assemblages and that kind of crafting. I haven't ventured into junk journaling, but I love watching junk journaling. That's probably one of my, well, it seems like I have two. That's one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, or type of craft. I find it so relaxing. I think too, I love the junk journal artists that incorporate a lot of vintage and kind of grungy, vintage papers and that kind of thing into what they do. And I just find it so relaxing, but I've been a little bit intimidated to jump in and kind of try it. So, and my friend Debbie at My Vagabond Style, in fact, there's a video up. You can go back and look in the lives. She was a guest, oh gosh, now it's probably been a couple years ago. And she came on and it was so fun. She kind of walked all of us through, walked me through. I'm gonna kind of, sorry if I'm blocking. I've put myself into a corner here with how I'm gluing this down, but let's see, hopefully it'll work. It's much different when you start talking and crafting at the same time. I think I have a lot. So I have done a junk journal with Debbie. She sent me all the supplies and we did one together, and that really felt less intimidating, but I don't know. I have to get over myself. Sometimes I feel a little intimidated of trying something new. I was just really happy. I was very happy. I felt like, oh, yes, kind of a junk journal project. And I was really pleased and excited how they turned out. So it was a confidence, definitely a confidence booster. And I'm just going around here. Probably don't need to be so meticulous because this is just a tutorial, but I'm just going around here and gluing down the edges just so we don't have a lot of lift here. You know what? You could try it too, Leanne, with the thicker paper. Maybe try it and see how it does. You know, because I see people making envelopes all the time on YouTube and Instagram and tutorials with thick paper. They use the thick cardstock, so maybe try it and see what happens. I think the only issue is just going to be when we go to fold it, but you can use a bone folder or something. So I would try it. If you have some that you love, try it. Oh, you did, Kathy? Your craft room is still torn apart? Oh, that's cool. You got one of your mom's photo books scanned. Yeah. Oh, I bet that felt good. How wonderful. Okay, so I'm pretty much have that glued down. Oh, what did I do with my, uh-oh. I do that all the time. I lose my, I probably dumped it on the floor. Well, let's hope. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope we don't dry out too much. I cannot find the little thing that goes in there. Okay, so now we're glued down. So my favorite type of scissor is the cutter bee. There's obviously a lot of scissors out there, precision scissors. I bought these several years ago and I've been really happy with them. They're nice and small, they're very sharp, and they get into like little tight corners really well. So today I'm using my little cutter bee, and I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to do a really rough outline though first, and then go in and cut a little bit tighter. I found that's kind of the easiest way to do. Try not to save this paper here for something else. I'm gonna stick it down here. Yeah, sometimes just making that decision of the supplies that we want to use, sometimes that is really sometimes what takes the longest. And I'm a very slow crafter, so sometimes it just takes a while for me to kind of get that figured out. Okay, so now I'm going to go in, and you don't have to cut right on the edge of the doily. You can go in and cut super close so that you don't see any of the paper. I found it was easiest. It's pretty forgiving. I found it easiest just to leave a little bit of a border. And again, we're not going for perfection. Junk journaling and paper crafting is a very forgiving medium, I find. You can cover up a lot of things with inks, and if you rip something, you can glue things back into place. So I'm just going to go around here. Yeah, so I didn't get to crafting this week. As a lot of you know, Leanne knows, we had messaged, and also a lot of you knew that were in the Crafty Friday, our little Instagram group, that my mother-in-law, she was transported to the hospital twice last week, and the second time she was transported was on Friday. So I didn't do Crafty Friday. I was just kind of waiting to hear back from my husband. what was going on. And then we found out, so she had had a virus. There was a virus going around, like a stomach virus going around memory care the week before, and just a lot of things. She'd had another infection, and she was on antibiotics for that, separate from the stomach virus, and definitely wasn't feeling her best. And so Saturday night, she spent the night in the ER. They'd sent my husband home about midnight because they were waiting to do an MRI. And we found out she had fractured her back. Very shocking. Even a week later, it is almost a week later, it's still very shocking. It's just very kind of hard to believe. She fell down a week ago Tuesday. And, I don't think she has quite the pain receptors that she used to. And we're just a little, of course, nobody is to blame. It is, those things, they just happen. She was sick. She wasn't feeling well. She was sort of in a weakened state. I'm going to see if I can glue this down a little bit down here. I don't know. Yeah, so to suffice it to say, fracture. Thankfully, it's in an area that will heal, doesn't require surgery. She's in a back brace, and we had her transported to skilled nursing on, let's see, what's today? Thursday, on Tuesday, so late Tuesday. And that's kind of where we are at with that. This is all very new territory for us. So we're just trying to figure out, we haven't dealt with skilled nursing before. So yeah, it's a lot to take in. She has some other things going on, some kind of bladder things going on. But mostly it's this, and it's like a full torso brace. Yeah, it's really, really hard to see. And she's a little tiny thing, little tiny petite, 4 feet something. And so yeah, so that's what's been going on this week. So if you're, someone that prays or, send loving thoughts and prayers, and greatly appreciated as she's healing and getting better. So she'll be doing rehab and all that kind of thing. So, and we'll find out more. We're finding that it's very, like, every day changes. Like her, she's improving and getting better every day. And so we're finding that we just have to kind of, we're not thinking too far ahead, and kind of going with the flow a little bit. So, okay. So the next thing we do, once we have cut out around our doily, we're going to turn it over, and we're going to make a center line with a ruler. And again, it doesn't have to be exact, but these doilies are a little, because they're a little uneven top to bottom, but I'm going to find what I think is pretty close to center. And this line, we'll go back and we'll erase it, so you can just do it. And I would use a pencil so that you can go back and erase it later. And we're just going to do a line down the middle. So basically we're dissecting the doily here. And then what we are going to do is we are going to fold in the sides. So I'm going to start here just because I'm right hand. Oh no, wait a minute. Let me go this way. Okay. So we're going to, I would have practiced this a little bit more this week. So let me think about it. Okay. So we're going to turn it over. We're going to have the pointed end at the top, and then we're going to come in and fold in our side. So I'm right-handed, so I'm just automatically going to start on the right-hand side, and I'm going to fold it so that this bend is a little over that center pencil line. I'm not going to flatten it a ton, I'm just going to flatten it a little. because I might want to go back and adjust it. And then I'm going to take the other one and I'm going to flatten that in. In fact, I can see I need to adjust it a little bit. I'm also looking here at the top, and I'm seeing that this right hand side, I'm going to adjust it so that it's a little bit straighter from here to here. In fact, if you have one of these, a mat like I have, that's quite handy too, because you can go in and you can line up the side to the lines on your mat. So I'm going to adjust this side a little bit so I get a little bit better, and I'm going to look at this line here on the right side of my mat. I'm going to fold that one in just a little bit straighter here. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to test. Let me test here. And then what you can do is you can fold up the bottom and see, okay, do you need to adjust that at all? In fact, this is a little bit wide. So I'm going to bring the bottom in a little bit more. Because this is a heart shape, there is a little bit more adjusting that we have to do. So I'm going to come in here and bring this bottom in a little bit more. And I'll go up and check it. And that's pretty good. That's looking pretty good to me. Okay. And I'm going to come in here and use my bone folder. You can use the side of your glue stick. I was watching somebody the other day, and I thought it was genius. They kept an old, top to an old or used up glue stick, and they used that. Isn't that genius? You can use it like a bone folder when you're gluing stuff down. You can press things down. I thought that was really good. Let's see, what did Leanne say? I decided to go with my avocado dyed copy paper. The pink of my doilies wasn't working with my paper choices. Ooh, I can't wait to see, Leanne, how that turns out, because I had that thought too, that copy stained or avocado stained paper would look really pretty, because that's the perfect weight. So that will be really nice to see how that works out for you. Okay, so we're going to come in here, and I'm going to get my little gift card and use that as a little kind of tool here. I'm going to test a little, kind of see what the size is. And then I'll give you measurements. I think that might help too. Yeah. Okay, so I would say if you're using the 8x8 doily, I folded the bottom up like 3 3/4 inches. And I'm going to write that down. So 3 3/4 inches is the height here of the envelope. Let me double check that just to make sure. No, I take that back. I take that back. Sorry. 2 3/4. 2 3/4. I was looking at the top here. So it's roughly 2 3/4 is where I'm folding it. And what I found that was very helpful when you're folding it is to stick your bone folder here in the bottom. Let me get rid of that here. Get rid of that. I think I pushed it when my had glue on my fingers. I find it really helpful to take your bone folder and just stick it in there so that you get a really kind of a sharp edge, so you don't have anything sticking in there. And we'll do the same here. We'll kind of run our bone folder inside there. And I found when I was making my samples, if I needed to go back and readjust, it's very interesting gluing the doily onto this thin paper, whether it's the avocado dye or the decorative paper. It almost starts to feel like fabric in a way, and it's the doily that's giving it that feeling. Okay, so we're nice and sharp there. Then we're going to come in and we are going to fold our top flap. And again, I can see I'm not super perfect, but we're not going for perfection. I think this kind of vintage style, junk journal style is, it isn't about perfection, which is nice, but I can go in here and check on my grid lines and I'm actually pretty straight. I'm actually pretty good. I go in here and use my bone folder. Okay, so we have all of our creases. And then what we are going to do is we're going to open it up and we are going to cut out some of the sections so that our envelope is thinner. Take some of the bulk out of the envelope. So the sections that we are going to cut out is this lower right, and I'll put an X in there. This, hopefully you can see. So we're going to cut out this lower right, and we're going to cut out this lower left, and we're going to cut out, when you fold yours, if you have this little section, we have this little section here on the top right and this little section on the top left. And I'll bring it in closer so you can see where the fold lines are. You have the little sections at the top. And again, where our fold lines are at the bottom, we have the little sections there on the right and on the left. Okay, and I'm just going to take my little scissors and I'm going to cut right on that fold line. Yeah, almost. I also wasn't super prepared this morning. I wasn't quite sure. I was thinking I was going to run over also and help my husband at our friend's house. But they, I think with the other pump they had gotten really quite under control. So I'll check with him after we're done today and text her and see how that's going. Okay, cut this section out. And we're going to cut this top section out here. And you can go in and adjust if you find you need to, cut a little bit closer. That's what's nice about this. Nothing is set until we glue it down. Get this stuff out of the way. Okay, so we have, kind of looks like a little bird, doesn't it? I'm going to go in and turn it over. I have a couple loose things here. I'll probably go in and add a little bit of glue there. There's my, wish I knew where that little top went. I'm going to glue these little pieces down here. Now that I've cut the doily, I can see a little bit of sections. I'm just going to go in here and clean this up. These little things that are kind of hanging off. And we are going to double check, kind of see how we're folded. Looks nice. Yeah, that looks really good. And let's see if I can see at the top. Now, see at the top how there is a little bit up here too on the envelope. Hopefully you can see it. So there's the top of this bottom flap, and there is a little bit there. I think that's okay to leave. If you wanted to go in and cut that so that it has a cleaner look, you can do that too. Let me see if you can see here a little bit better. No, you can't see it. This one's a little bit different, but there's just a little bit there that's peeking up. Let me look at this one. I think each one, oh, this one you can see. So see how you have a little bit poking up there? To me, that's fine. It's flush right there to the fold, but you could go in and cut it a little bit lower and, you know, cut along that scallop line. But I'm just going to leave mine. I'm fine with that. I think I might go in and cut this one a little bit closer because I see it's folding a little bit when I fold my top. But otherwise, I think that's good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to ink. And you can use whatever color you like. I am using Vintage Photo. This is the only brown that I have, and I find it has a really kind of nice neutral look. So let's see, let's fold this up, and I'm going to ink even on the fold lines, and just really give it that kind of aged. I was going on mine, I was going for kind of a really time-worn, aged look. I was thinking maybe this was, you know, like a love letter that had seen the passage of time. Maybe it had been, you know, opened, and the envelope had been opened, and whatever the contents were taken out often and read and looked at, and that's kind of the look I had. I was going for this kind of romantic love letter look. And I'm going to go in here. We're going to ink this flap even. And I'm even inking on the inside just to give it that kind of grungy, time-worn look. I posted on Instagram. So our friend Angie, who's in the community here, Angie's Oddities, she has been having a lot of craft supply sales on her YouTube. So some new, some used, and I'm really excited to play with them. I bought, oh gosh, like 4 or 5, no, maybe 4 new distress Oxide ink colors that I received in the mail this week. So I'm really excited to play around with those. Up until now, I think maybe I just had like 3 colors. I haven't invested in a lot of colors, and really I find the Vintage Photo is what I use the most when I'm trying to give something an aged look. But I'm really excited. In fact, I'm looking at them right now. I'm very excited to be using her to try those out and see what those look like. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. I'll show you a close-up so you can kind of see what that did. I hope Leanne's doing well. If you have any questions, Leanne, let us know. And you can kind of see there with the ink really makes a really makes a difference and gives it that really aged look. I didn't go down super far here because we won't see this part once we glue it. Is that the color you have too? Yeah, I've seen people use walnut, I think, is another color I think would be kind of cool to try. Yeah, eventually. Okay, so we're all linked up. We're all folded. And we are going to glue this down. So what I'm going to glue first is this little tab here. So this little overlap that we have, I'm going to go in there and kind of glue that down. I basically kind of figure out where it starts here, and I'll glue on this side. I probably should look on the floor and find where my what do you call it? The pen thing. Pen tip. Let me see if I can find it. It's like a constant with me. It could be in my lap. It could be anywhere. Sometimes I keep little extras here on my desk. It's like, yeah, who knows? Who knows where that went? I do not see it here. Get some things out of the way here. Let's move my pencil. Okay. You look on the other side. Okay, so I glued this little flap down here, and then we're going to glue this section. And I'm actually just going to glue, I'm going to put the glue down on this part. So I'm going to drop down a little bit because I know my sides here, my sides stick up a little bit more. I think I'm almost getting to where I might need to get a refill. My art glitter. Oh, there it goes. It's coming out a little bit more. So I'm just going to go along the border here. And I want to be really careful. I don't want to get it on the inside. And I'm just going to kind of randomly fill in here in the center. And we can go back and we can, if anything's sticking up, we can tack it down. Make sure we're good. We can take our bone folder. We can kind of run it in there, make sure nothing's sticking. I think we're pretty good. Let's see if I need to tack this top down a little bit here. Nope, I think I'm good. We are good. And that is our envelope. So cute. And like I said, you can take this any direction you want once you have the final envelope. It'd be so cute to put like wax seals down here. You could put little stickers. And I just found the reason why I did the little tab, the tab closure that I did, is I found that it wanted to kind of spring open a little bit. And maybe if I went in and cut these little tabs, it might not spring open as much, but I like the look of the little tab. I like the look of the little tab. You could even do the closures that have the, I don't know, what are they called, with the little circles, and you could wind the string around. You could put I also thought it would be super cute to put a like a grommet in here just on this side and loop some ribbon or some sari string, and then you could tie it around. That would be really pretty. So there's a lot of options to do the closure. But I think before we do the closure, let's actually turn it over and let's look at our collage in the back. And I'll kind of talk about some of the things that I did. So here is, let's see, this was the first one I did, and I actually made them both rather similar. So here's the collage I did on the first one, and very similar. I didn't deviate a lot on my second one. I just used a couple different elements, the flower element here. Oh, and yeah, it is. I was thinking, Kelly Rashidi said that the other day, or she said yesterday, I think, when I was showing the inks that I received from Angie. Inks are like such a great invention, and they're kind of like, for me, when I'm using glitter on something, I don't know, inking just takes something to a whole nother level. I mean, you could be done here. You could just say, oh, I'm done. I've made my envelope. I've inked it. This could be, something that you stick into a junk journal. You can glue this flap, right? You could glue that down to a page and have this be your text spot. So you could be done here because that's adorable. But yeah, we'll take it a little bit further. Let's see here. How many of K? Ooh, who's K? Oh, thanks, Leanne. I'm glad you like the collage. Okay, so let's see. What elements did I use for my collage? Let me pull them out here. Just gonna make a little bit of a pile. Kind of go over that. Another first, I have bought a couple packages of the Tim Holt die cuts, but have yet to use them. I want to kind of pushing myself a little bit more to be, oh, is that kind of weird, like the camera? Let's see, let's go that way. Is that a little bit better? I'm kind of pushing myself and again, stash busting. So I've used these actually on tiered trays and when I've decorated things, but I hadn't yet used them, I guess, as they were intended to do, to glue them onto things. So I was glad, very glad to be using them. Let's see, which one do we want to use? Do we want to use this kind of pinky one? This one is really pretty too. This one's bigger. Let's see, what vibe do we want to go for? I think I'm going to do the pink one just because it is so dark, dreary today. I think we'll use this pastel-y pink one, I think. Oh, is that the link, Kathy, to what you were talking about? Oh, good. I'll click on it later and look. Yeah. Okay. Now, what I found about these die cuts is they are quite thick. Maybe that's why I've been a little bit hesitant to use them before. But I saw this little trick. I don't know who, another kind of junk journal person I was watching, that you can go in here and you can peel off the back layer, or there's probably several layers, and make them thinner. Because frankly, they're very thick, right? To me, they add way too much bulk to something. And I'm after something that kind of has a vintage time-worn look. And to me, the thickness doesn't scream out old paper, old, thin die cut, something that would have been cut from a old greeting card or a magazine. The images themselves are, but the thickness kind of takes away from that for me. I'm like, no nails here. Should have already done this. Hi, Marcy. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so yeah, see, so I just peeled off the back and it made it much thinner. Look at that one. It's like super thick. It's like hard to bend. And yeah, once we peel that off, it's very pliable. It's very thin. In fact, I'm going to go in here and I'm actually going to bend it. I'm going to you could come in here and you can rip it, you can rough it up. We'll see, maybe we'll cut a little bit of it off, but I'm going to go in here and kind of bend it up. Kind kind of give it an aged look. And then I'm going to come in with my ink and I'm going to ink it up. And that kind of takes away some of that white border. Really changes up the look a lot for me. And the look I'm going after. And what I found was kind of cool is you can crease, just kind of like what we were doing with the envelope where we were inking along the creases, and look what that does. So I folded it and then I inked along that line. Is that cool? Oh, I love the way that looks. Maybe we'll do that here too. So cool. So we've taken something that's a really thick die cut and we've given it kind of a cool aged look. I like that. Okay, now what I did for the base of the collage is I took some of this. This is from Temu. I think I had shown this in a haul quite a while ago. And you can use anything. You can use, I just grabbed it because I really want to use the supplies I have, but book page would be vintage book page, or it doesn't even have to be vintage. It could be sheet music, vintage, new, old, doesn't matter, but I had this and wanted to use it. So I'm just going to take a piece of this, let's see, kind of roughly rip it, and I'm going to rip all the edges. I don't want to have any straight edges. Again, we're going for like a really old time worn look. And this is just rough. That's about the size that I'm looking for, and I'm just looking for something that's the base. We probably will not end up seeing much of it. And I'm going to go in here. I'm going to ink the edges. And what I think is kind of cool too is to even go in and we're going to kind of rip it. We're going to like tear the edge there. Remember, our letter, or my letter here, my envelope, whatever is inside has been opened, it's been read, it's been kept, it's been cherished, it's probably been stuck in a book or a drawer or a pocket. So I'm just aging it up here. So I've kind of just randomly ripped some of the edges. You can go in here and do that where we're folding it, kind of getting that look. We'll do a little bit of that. Okay, so we have our base and we have our flower. Kind of go in. I might end up kind of ripping that end here. So we have these two elements. The other super cool thing that I discovered, because again, I had all these doilies that were hanging out next to me, is that the doilies themselves, they have just, the shape of them. And in fact, they're all different, but I had these circle doilies and I loved the little design elements at the side, and they're really easy to rip and tear. And I just thought they look like lace. They're paper. They look like they could be material. So we're going to go in. We're just going to rip a couple. I'm not sure how many we're going to use. And I'm going to take them and I'm going to kind of squish them all up. I don't know, just give them a cool feel. I'm not sure how many we're going to use, but we'll go in here and kind of ink them up. We're going to age them. I'm excited to kind of see what other kind of projects we can make with some of the other doily shapes. A lot of big, rectangles in there. You could maybe make some larger envelopes. There's probably all kinds. And I looked on YouTube. I don't know if anybody has done this before where they've lined doilies to make envelopes. I couldn't find anybody that had. Of course, everybody's always coming up with, right? All the paper crafters are always coming up with really fab ideas. So I can't attribute this to anybody. Maybe it is mine. Maybe I'm the first. I did see a lot of people just folding the doilies the way they are. And the reason why I came up and I kind of played around with was lining it with paper is that these are really beautiful, but they're very flimsy. So they easily rip. That's why I came up with the idea of putting the paper inside. Look how pretty that would be. Now this is a much smaller doily, but it would be really, really cute. But yeah, to me, they're much too fragile. I saw people putting candies and different things where you can like sew two together. But again, I don't know. It seems like they would rip. They would rip really easy. Oh, bye, Kathy. Be safe. I'm glad the sun is shining. That's good. Have a good shopping trip and enjoy. Oh, you have some coffee stain doily bits. Oh, it's gonna look good. You have to, when you get done, you have to like post on Instagram and send me a picture. Tag me. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Okay, so we have our little doily bits. The other thing that I pulled out, I have a ton of vintage stamps. So of course there's a ton of, there's reproduction sticker stamps. There are rubber stamps that are in the shape and the look and feel of vintage postage stamps, but I have a huge box full. My great grandmother, and I think my mom too. I think my mom, when she was a little girl, in fact, I think when I was little too, I was like, I'm going to start collecting stamps. I remember, what do they call that? The book, like the book sales that come in when you're in elementary school and they come. What is that, Taylor? Oh, my daughter's. Is it Scholastic? Like the Scholastic book sales. I remember buying, I don't know, it's probably a big packet of vintage stamps when I was a little girl. So probably the box that I have, it has the stamps from when I was little and my mom and my great grandmother. So I don't know the value, but I definitely need to use them. And I like the thought of incorporating them into this project. So we have our stamp. I've aged it with the ink. This is another half of something that I used in this one. So the top part was a sticker, like a Temu sticker, and I think it was maybe like a transportation label or something. And I just stuck it on the back of I think it was even in my postage stamp box. I just stuck it on the back of a piece of vintage, or on top of a piece of vintage paper. And what I like to do when I'm crafting, especially paper crafting, is when I have little bits and pieces, I will stick them in, of course, it grows and grows and grows, but I will stick them in a little bowl or a little caddy. Like, look how cool this is. I love to use vintage book pages. I'm always looking kind of for the blanks when I do my stamping. And look how cool that is. So that came from a Torrance Unified School District. So that's close by where we live. But just even saving those little bits, that's kind of a cool thing. In fact, I'm going to grab that. Maybe we'll use that. And I'm going to kind of rough this up too. I'm going to make this look old. Okay. And let's see, maybe we may end up sticking that kind of behind our stamp. I'm just going to start laying things down here just kind of get a rough idea, kind of like that. And we're not gluing anything down yet. We're just trying to figure out what looks nice. And I'm going to turn these over and use the back. Sometimes I use the red, the front, and sometimes I use the back. Yeah, we're just playing with it. Just gonna see what looks nice. That there. I kind of liked on this one where I did have the red showing. So I had the white to the back and the red to the front. So I think we'll probably use one of those over here. And the other element that I used was vintage lace. I have a ton of that. And so what I also like to do with this is to go in and kind of rip it. Rip it, kind of grunge it up, make it look really aged and time worn. So we're going to give that some tears, and we are going to ink that up too. Let me find a book here. I don't get too much. I'm going to use that. I don't want to get too much ink on my table here. This book that I like to use for, yeah, we're just going to go in here and age that up. Let's see, we might need another piece. I don't have another piece of that, but I'm going to use this one here. Ooh, this one's harder to rip. This must be from like the this must be from like the 70s or something. This must have polyester in it because it's harder to rip. There we go. We got a little bit of rip to it. Yes, yes, it went right. It was Scholastics, Leanne. Were you a sticker hoarder? I wasn't a sticker kid. I know a lot of yeah, kids get super into stickers. I wasn't into stickers. I liked rocks. I would pick rocks up. I like seashells. I like stamps. Yeah, I don't remember having like the big sticker collection. I do remember the ones that that smelled, right? They would smell like were they like scratch and sniff ones? Like, you know, they'd smell like watermelon and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we have this all kind of, wow, this is interesting. How hard this is to rip. There we go. We got a little bit more. Definitely polyester in it. Okay, so we have that prepped. And then the other thing that I thought would be really fun is I made a stamp that had the number 14 in it. So a little bit of a nod to Valentine's Day with the 14. And where are my, so I should probably put the link below, but I use these labels all the time. They are a printout that I found on Pinterest. And I think if you go in and you type into Pinterest, if you type free printable Denison label reproduction, something like that, these will pop up. And I want to say Kathy Holden. I don't know why that's popping into my head, but they're blank label and the I mean, you just type that in and it'll pop up instantly in Pinterest, and you can print out. There's a whole sheet of the blank ones, and I've used these constantly all the time. I like to use these as the collages on the bottom of my assemblages when I, you know, sign my name and date my pieces. So they're really great size, and they even have a page too, I don't have it handy, that has little like illustrations, I want to say, almost like they've been stamped with something. But I love these because they're nice and thin, they're easy to cut, and if they're too thick, you know, I can go in and make them a little bit, cut more of the red off is what I'm trying to say. Hard for me to find my words. So we have our little stamp. And where are my these number stamps? They maybe came from Temu, I feel like. I got them a while ago, but I'm sure if you're a paper crafter or you're doing any kind of stamping, likelihood is you may have some number stamps in your arsenal. And I found if I did them together, it was too thick for my label. So I'm going to stamp them one at a time individually. I think this is the black I used. I don't know. I'm going to test it on my book. It's interesting. I have several different blacks, and some are, no, I don't like that black. Some are much more pigmented than others. Let me try this one. I think this was a Temu one, this pure palette. Let me see what it looks like. And I'm just stamping them on a book page here off to the side. Because I don't want them to be super dark, but I do want, yeah, this is the color that I like. And you can see here, I'll show you. So this was the washable, and this is that pure palette one. I want it to be a little bit darker. Oh, yep. Oh, that's going to be good, Leanne. Isn't it good? I love the wonderful thing about making and crafting and mixed media and paper crafting, junk journaling, all this stuff is to take an idea and then find what you have. Use what you have. That's the fun of it. And it makes yours, makes it unique to you. That's kind of crooked. See if I can get a little bit straighter so I have a little bit more success. So I'm going to stamp my one. I think I went a little bit. No, that's going to be okay. If it doesn't fit exact, it's okay. I'm going to clean that off a little bit. And I'm going to take our 4. Yeah, I need that too, Leanne. I need lots of direction. And if anybody's watching this in the replay, it's good. You can just stop, find what you need, or you could watch it all the way through and gather, or just stop as you go and run around. I mean, I have craft supplies stuck in every nook and cranny in the house practically. So we're not quite straight, but we don't care. It's good. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let me grab this really quick. It's my son calling. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Are they letting you out early because of the rain, or? Oh, okay. Is it okay? I just need to finish up my my craft tutorial. That's good. That's a good thing. Good use. So yeah, text me when you're done with that, and then I'll come grab you. Okay, honey. Okay, bye-bye. Sorry about that. My son, I guess they're having a pep rally today, which is so crazy. in this crazy rain, although it's not really raining at the moment. Maybe it's sprinkling, but wow. He has he's a senior this year, so he doesn't have a full schedule, but he has something he's been trying to get his counselor to whatever, pay attention to a class that he's taking. So that's a good use of his time. He can go, maybe he can get her attention and get that taken care of today. So I kind of did the same thing. I went and I folded it and did those crease lines and inked it. I think it gives a really, really cool look. And we can even go in here. Maybe we'll kind of rip it. We'll rip the edge too. Yep, we all have different supplies. Yeah. And I've been looking for, so I after I did this project, I'm like, oh, I want to do more, I want to do more kind of junk journal-y kind of things. And I've been looking because, again, I'm new at it. I'm not really confident of kind of just, well, I guess I should just grab paper and cardstock and jump in and kind of figure out. But I've been looking for a folio where if for those that are participating or want to participate in the creative and business series that we have going on this year, I really, for myself, and you could use it for monthly goals or weekly goals or whatever. It doesn't have to be creative or business goals, but I've been looking and scouring the YouTube tutorials for a folio that we could make together, and we could maybe, I'm thinking index cards or something where we can keep track of, sorry, that camera is going up and down. Let me move my hand. That where we could keep track of, say, monthly business numbers or just our, whatever monthly goals that we have. I thought it would be really nice to have a folio, because I'm thinking I'll do cards for each month, whatever my creative goals are, my business. You could use it for health and exercising and different things. And you could, write what your goals are. And what I like to do is I like to have a visual out so I can take the index card out for each of those months and, put it in a spiky flower frog or something on my desk and just kind of have that visual. So I think I found one the other day. I need to go back and kind of look at the video, but I think it's going to work because I wanted something that had enough tuck spots or enough pockets that I could have like 12 cards. And I was just thinking index cards because I have so many of them. I have I have a ton of index cards. Again, something I pick up constantly. And my mom had a lot of index cards. I brought all her like cool paper things back and office supplies and things. So yeah, I have a ton. We want to use up our stuff. Okay. Yep. We're looking good here. We have our 14. I'm kind of just copying what I did before. So let's see here. We're going to want to add some lace. I think I'm going to actually rip that. And I may start going in here and gluing some things down. Now, what I found that worked the best is kind of figuring out where I definitely want some things, and I will start gluing those down. Let's see if I can go in tighter. I'll start gluing those elements down. I don't want to get too, it does a lot of in and out when we go too close, huh? Let's see. I think I might need to come back here. In a really good world, maybe I would be able to do my cell phone camera, use my cell phone, but I don't quite know how to do that. Hopefully you guys can see. So I'll kind of figure out where I definitely want some things to be, and I'll start gluing those elements. I find, and meaning that I'm going to kind of hold things down a little bit and lift up and glue. I find if I just glue things and plop them down, I sometimes have regrets about where I stuck them down. So I found this method kind of works well. And who does this method all the time? Pretty sure I saw my friend Debbie, my Vagabond Style. She does this a lot in her art pieces. And I like the way that one looks. So I'm gonna glue that little one there at the top. I'm gonna come in, I think I'm gonna glue this one down. I like the way that looks. I'm kind of holding everything else. Let's see here. I'm going to move that for a second. I think I'm going to I want something poking out here at the bottom. So I think I'll stick one of these little inked doilies down here. Just kind of tack that down. Let me take a drink of my water real quick. Yeah, isn't it? I don't know. I'm really disappointed in these cameras. Maybe they just don't work for us crafty folks. And as many of you know, I had to buy a new camera. The plug-in camera I had, it just stopped working. I hadn't used it for like 6 months, and it didn't work. I mean, I did the online like computer, whatever you call those, the Best Buy guys. They couldn't figure it out remotely. I took it in. I spent 45 minutes with 2 other guys in the Best Buy. They could not figure it out. So I ended up having to buy another camera. I did the same, is it Logi or something? I did the same brand because that's what they had there. And it was like last minute. I needed it for the next day, I think, or I don't know. I was doing a tutorial like a day or 2 later. So I needed it. I wouldn't have arrived from Amazon in time. So I did the same brand, but a little bit more of an upgrade. And they're like, oh, it's supposed to be better. It's not supposed to do that. But clearly it still is. Okay, so we like that. Let's see. Let's stick a little bit of, I'm gonna put a little bit of lace down here. I don't know. This is probably taking way too long. Sometimes I watch people and I'm like, wow, they just do it. They're just intuitive. But I think also probably because they've been doing it for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to glue this side of kind of our main piece down. I think this is, in fact, I'm going to do it this way. I think it's pretty good. I don't know my art glitter glue because I don't have a thing in it. It's getting all dried up. Oh, that could be disastrous. Where is my thing? I'm just going to do this one side because I think I might want to stick some other things down on that other side, on the right side. So I'm just going to glue the left side down. Maybe we're going to come in here and do a little bit of that. I think that one's pretty glued down. Maybe we'll do a little bit more. Can you hear my home heater? It's so loud in this little old 1956 mid-century house of ours. Very loud. Okay, let's see what we have going on here. I like the way that looks. Let's see if we stick a little bit of lace down here. Digging on that. I like that. Okay, I'm going to glue this lace, and I just use, you could use Fabri-Tac, but I found that the art glitter works pretty good. I know it's not for fabric, but it's pretty good. I'm just going to put a little bit and just stick it down. And it does the trick. Let's see, let me put a little bit more. Oh, good. I'd be too fast. I'm not quick. I'm not quick. I kind of like a perfectionist. Things have to be pleasing to my eye and look a certain way. So I'm not a quick crafter. I wish I was. If I start replicating things or I do something in mass, then I'm quick about it, but not for this kind of stuff. And I like that little. So I've glued it on, and we have some little like hangy things there. I think that looks pretty cool. All right. Okay, liking the way that looks. I think I'm gonna come in and maybe put some more of this paper down in here. Kind of little bits of paper. I'm gonna take a little bit and kind of ink that up. Because we're not seeing a lot of this little thin Timu paper. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to stick this this little piece here. You can see a little bit of something more poking out there. Okay, so we have that. Let's see, where is our stamp? Kind of like the idea how this is kind of ripped here. I don't know if you see, I'll show you close up. So I've kind of ripped it and I've stuck the stamp underneath it. And let's see what this looks like if we, and this is kind of cool because it's a little, like a little transportation sticker piece. I think that's cool. Kind of liking that. Yeah, I like that, how that looks. Okay, kind of thinking that's good. I'm going to take a little bit of, I think, this doily. I think I'm going to end up having maybe a little bit there. And I'm sort of looking for symmetry. I'm in the middle, but I'm adding little pieces just so it maybe equally fills the space. Maybe that's a little kind of anal type A of me. But that's kind of like what I'm looking at now. So I think, yeah, if this ends up kind of being over here, and I think we want some more lace. Maybe we'll take some of this, a little bit more of this thin tea. I like this thin kind of copy paper, weight paper. I kind of like this. I think I'm going to take a little bit, stick that down there. Yep, I like the way that looks. I'm going to commit to that. I think. And I know I need to go under and glue that down. In fact, let's see. Do I want a little bit of, maybe we'll stick another one of those in here. Yep. Like the way that looks. So we'll glue that down and then we'll go back and glue the right side of this this large focal part here. Okay, I kind of like that. Okay, so let's glue. We're going to glue the other half of this down if we can. I don't know if I kind of, I'm just going to kind of rip it a little bit. I'm going to glue this part down. And we will have the other pieces and parts glued down. So it's not going anywhere. I'm going to kind of tuck that red one in there. And I like the little bit of red that will show through underneath this, what do you call this? Lace. Let me see. Yeah, much quicker doing mask making. Yeah. I'm a square girl. You know what I mean? Like I like balance. I like symmetry. My eye is just that way. When I decorate, my eye is that way too. I'm one of those super wacky people that if I have something like a certain kind of way, like I'll notice. Like a really detailed person, I will notice if something is different, you know, like way moved or something. I'm a very, yeah, I like balance. I'm a very visual person. Very visual person. I probably notice things before other people do in that sense. Okay, am I going to want to stick anything underneath there? I think I like this lace. I think I'm going to stick this lace down. And when I glue it down, I'm going to fold it. I'm going to just make it look all messy. We're going for that kind of messy, ripped, grungy look. So I'm going to fold it. I have that little thread hanging out. We'll see if we might want to even keep that. I'm going to tuck this maybe underneath and tuck it a little bit under. And I feel like I want something down here. What would that be? Do I want a different kind of lace down there? Maybe this one. I feel like it needs a little something there. Wow, this is note to self on this 1970s, 80s polyester lace. I should have grabbed more of the vintage stuff. I just had that one little piece and I used it on all of them, but we'll make this work. A little more something under here. Maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I want paper. Were you in this because it's moved? Yeah. Yep. I notice. My husband never does. He would notice if something was completely gone. Just completely missing from the house. Maybe he would eventually notice, but yeah. And we've had jokes over the years where like something's been missing or gone, and I have felt something's gone. Like maybe it's something out in the garage or something. And I had a couple things in my mom's that kind of went missing. And I was, super like upset about it when we were in the move and when we came back here, moved everything back here to California. And so sometimes things really do go missing and they're never to be found again. But we have had a few times where they've shown up again for whatever reason. And my husband's like, see, you don't have to. Oh, I know what I didn't do. This is a little step that I didn't do is, let me show you guys. So I don't know, this is in some stamp set I have. I've had it for, I don't know, a year or so. So I'm not sure. It came with some mushrooms, but this is a stamp that I love to use because it gives really great kind of splattery texture to things. So I was just looking at this one here and I had gone in and used that stamp on this little label that I made. And I'm going to go in with the vintage photo and I'm just going to add, so cool. Look at that. Is that cool or what? So it just adds this like little rusty, splattery age marks to it that I think are super cool. Go in here. My son hasn't texted back, so maybe that means he's had success. He's been trying to get a hold of the counselor for a long time and he's put in requests to talk to her. I don't know what the deal is. So it's a good sign. Okay, so we kind of like that. That lace. Now you will kind of tuck. I kind of like that. I think that's good, kind of tucked in there. In fact, I may commit to that. Let me just glue down. I don't know about this piece here. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to rip this a little bit more. So it's definitely not one of those videos where everybody like, they make it, boom, boom, boom. Definitely a little bit different here. But hopefully you guys are going to be able to take this and run. And I would love anybody that completes, and like Leanne, definitely post a picture on Instagram and tag me on it. That is the most that I love about doing this. I love to see when people watch the tutorials and they make the item. It makes me really happy. I love that. Okay, so we've stuck our little postage stamp there. I put it under the flower. I think I like that. This I'm not liking as much. I don't know, maybe it's too big. Maybe that's the problem. I think that's the problem. This piece is too big. The art glitter glue, you have a little bit of time. You have a little bit of time to use it, which is nice. It's funny, I'm making this somewhat similar to, I mean, I'm kind of copying my layout a little bit, but yeah, it's just coming together in a different way. I'm gonna stick that underneath there. Have that poking out. I like that. I like how that looks. And where's our label? Yes, I can't wait. I used to use the hashtag vintage craft and chat. Yeah, so when you do, Leanne, use that hashtag. I may look, the more we do this, maybe we'll add something on it so it'll be kind of unique to what we're all doing here, but because I'm most certain that other people, I'm sure, are using vintage craft and chat, because I'm seeing a lot of people using that. All right, so I glued my label down. I feel like I need a little something in here. I don't know what it is. Should it be that it tore? I need a little bit more paper. I don't know. Need something. Oh yeah, that's what it needs. I need a little bit of piece of like ripped paper there. And then we'll go into with that, we'll go in with that stamp, that little kind of funny stamp. Let's see, do I want that? I don't think I want that thread. I don't like the way that looks. And you could, instead of lace, you could use ribbon, and every time I get a package, especially if I get, packages from, vintage sales and YouTube sales and all that stuff, tulle, all that stuff, little bits of tulle, that I, when I'm wrapping my outgoing Etsy packages, I just save all those little bits and pieces, and those are great. I mean, literally, you don't need to buy much. You can just pick up a few things here and there. It's a very kind of minimal. Let's see if I had anything else in here. No, I don't like that. In fact, like, look, I had cut off a little piece of lace here, or not lace, but from around one of those. No, I don't like that. Maybe that's good. Let's see. I feel like it needs something though. Maybe another one of these circles. I feel like it needs, I don't know, needs something there in the upper right. I don't know. It's just not coming together for me. Let's ink this up. Let's see what this does. Look at my fingers. They're just like, yeah. Okay. All right. almost done. I'm going to do I need to stop, Julie, stop. I need to go to the front thing here because I know I'm taking a long time. So I should go pick up my son. You know what I think it does? It needs just a bit of, that's it. Needs that. Oh, that's perfect. Needs this little strip of lace here. Little strip of lace. And then I'll show you the other is pretty quick how I do the tab. Oh yeah, that's what it needed. Oops, it's not gluey down there. This lace, it's so porous that it wants to stick to your fingers. There we go. Yep. All right, I like the way that looks. Might need to go back later and kind of glue down, but it's I think we're pretty good. So there is my back. I like the way that looks. Let me get rid of that little red there. So pretty cute. Okay, and then when we're done, we'll take that little splotchy thing. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to, let me cut that little. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the front. And these are just some, I think, print out like little craft paper things that I had. I think I also, Pinterest is a great place to look for free printables. Let's see. Oh, I had a different one here. And I think I just looked for like free printable vintage tabs or something like that. And I had a whole sheet of them that printed out. And so again, I'm trying to use what I have. I don't have a lot of cardstock, or I have cardstock, but it's not super vintage looking. I guess I should say. I don't have any of the, Tim Holt packs or a lot of the cardstock that's really popular with the kind of vintage style paper crafting. Let's see, where's my, that works. Yeah, that works. So what I did was I just went in here and I squared off the side. I cut that little tabby thing off the side there. Just using what I have and making it work. And then I'm going to take my quarter rounder and try to match those corners up a little bit better. Probably not going to be exact, but we're going to try. And we're not going for, we're going for the grungy look. Get some of this. We're going to go in here really quick. I'm going to grunge that up, and this is going to be the base of our flap holder thing. I don't know what we want to call it. Yeah, I think that's a good size. Okay, let me grunge it up a little bit more. Okay, so that's good. All right, and then oh, Leanne, I can't wait to see what yours looks like. I'm very excited. Okay, so that's good. And then what I did was, and this, I'm so excited. I've had these stamps for a little bit. They are, what did I do with them? They are this whole sheet of stamps that look like the Denison labels, because I'm obsessed with them. I have a few boxes of actual vintage ones. I just don't want to use them. I think they're so cool. I'm hoarding them, and I guess I'm scared to use them because I feel like I won't find them again. That they're really hard to come by. They're very expensive. They're a rarity, so I don't want to use them, but I was happy because I found this whole sheet of Denison style rubber stamps, or I guess they're acrylic silicone stamps. And so I am using this little, this elongated one. And of course it's much longer than you see here, but I will show you what I did, and I'm going to take red ink and let me get out. This is just a sheet of vintage paper, book page that I pulled out from the front of a book that I've just been using over time. Might have been an atlas or something like that. And we're going to apply red ink. And we're going to make a label. It's so cool. All right. And there's our label. And look at that. It looks just like a Dennison's label. So cool. So cool. Okay. Let me get some of the ink off there. And then we're going to cut it out. And you could, you know, you don't have to use vintage paper, but I think vintage paper just gives it, it gives it almost, it almost looks like the real thing to me. It's really hard to replicate that color. You know, you could probably do it, you know, with coffee, maybe coffee dyed paper. Maybe you could get there with it. Maybe one day I'll have to take out some of my actual labels and we'll do a comparison. But look how cool that, doesn't that, to me, this looks like, well, I don't know about the back of it, but doesn't it look like one of those gum labels? It's really good. And then how I did, ooh, that came apart. What I did to, so I chose love. You can do any word that you choose. You could even maybe even print it out on copy paper and then stamp over it if you don't have these little alphabet stamps. And these are the alphabet stamps that click together. I bought them on Amazon. But I've seen them on some of the other sites and maybe even Joann's and those type of stores. They may even be selling them now, but they just click together and they come in different fonts and font sizes. And they are great. I use these for all my little tags that I do on things. You know, I'm going to take that same black ink. I'm going to ink this up. How messy we are. Look at my desk, and I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to stamp on there, and there we go. So easy, so cute. And there's our love, but clearly it's too long. I mean, we could use it that size. It could run off the side, which would actually have a cute look, but I thought we're going for the grunge, so I'm going to rip it. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm rip off the end of it. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to, yeah. I'm going to make it all worn out. Maybe I'll rip a little bit here. My fingers look about the same as the paper. Yeah, those stamps are great. I made the investment of those, I think, a couple years ago. What is her? Tammy Creative Girl Vintage. I saw Tammy using them. That's when I was like, oh my gosh, those are so good. And I use them all the time because I do a lot of word labels and things in assemblages, my assemblages that I make. So I get a lot of use out of them. They were definitely money well spent. So I'm doing a little bit of repeat of what I did on the other side. So I have our little label. I'm going to grab, let's see, I'm going to grab a little piece of this thin Temu type paper that we've been using. I'm going to grab a little piece of that. I'm going to add that in. I need some lace. Gosh, I really wish I had grab some more of that vintage lace, but let's see if we can make do with this. Obviously, not all lace is created equal when it comes to age. It's been an interesting thing we've discovered today is this lace. But have no fear. I have bags and bags of vintage lace. I have them separated by kind of by color. I have like huge Ziploc bags. I have cream colored. I have whites together. Let's see here. Might be too long. And we're going to get one of these little, I love these. These are like the coolest thing to discover. These little doily pieces. I need to look at all my other doilies and see. I bet they all have really cool. Oh, the floral ones would have been really cool too. And here we go. And if anybody is tuning in and watching, this is a live tutorial, but the supply list is in the description of the video. So it will be really easy to go back and watch and craft at your leisure. It's the one nice thing about the fact that once you make the video, it's up and it's there and you can go back and watch it forever. In fact, I've gone back because I've been going through some of my crafting supplies and trying to use up things I have. And so I've had some tutorials that I've done in the past. And like I have these little lovebirds that I made. And I found a couple birds and I thought, oh, I want to, start emptying out things. So I'm going to make a couple of the lovebirds that I made in the tutorial and post them in my Etsy shop. But I had to go back. Had to go back and watch my tutorial because I couldn't remember like how I did the bow at the front. But how handy is that? I can go back and even look at my own tutorials. So I'm just going to glue. I just glued on a little piece of that ripped doily. I'm going to glue on some of this lace here. This polyester-y, difficult to work with lace. Isn't that interesting? That cotton, the real vintage cotton stuff's definitely much better. This doesn't want to stick either. I might have to use my Fabri-Tac, which of course takes a long time to come down. I'm going to turn my Fabri-Tac upside down. I'm going to try with this again. It doesn't seem like it wants to stick as much. Let's see. Maybe I just have so much stuff here on my fingers that nothing is sticking anymore. Okay, so let's kind of do that. Let's get, I don't know, I need a little piece. Here we go. Look at this. I even saved things like this. This came from, I don't know what. It was like somebody's writing. You can't even, it's hard to see. But anyway, it's somebody's cursive writing. Probably came from a book too. I don't know if it's like a classroom number or something, but yeah, it's really cool. And keep all that little stuff. It really comes in handy. Let's see, we'll kind of stick that there. How's that gonna look? That over there. Yeah, I like it. It's not grungy enough. Let's kind of rip it a little bit. Let's ink it a little bit more. Let's get that a little darker. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh, there's my son again. Let me see. Let me grab him real quick. Hey, honey, are you done? Yeah. Okay, good. I'll be out of here in just a little bit. Are you at Penn Center? Yeah. Okay. I'll text you as soon as I leave. Okay, love. Bye, love. Okay, sorry about that. Real life. See, my son would have driven himself today, but with this rain so crazy, I don't know if it's coming back either. I need to look at the weather report. I think it's supposed to let up. I think it's not supposed to rain tomorrow, and then maybe back Saturday. We have, I think we're in store for like 5 days. All right, so I glued that down. Yeah, do this really quick. All right, so there's our little tab, kind of grunged up. Let's grunge a little bit more on there. Let me cut a little bit of that. I don't like that weird lacy thing there. Okay, I like the way that looks. All right, so now we're going to come into our envelope, and we don't want it too high because the envelope tab, we just want it to tuck down in there. So we don't need to have it super high. We just need the little tip there. So I'm going to line it up as best I can. And I'm just going to go the sides. I'm not going to glue the top. I'm just going to glue the bottom and the right side and the left side. Hopefully I have it somewhat. There we go. Nice thing about the art glitter glue is you have a little bit of time to realign it. We're just going to run a bead down the bottom and down the side. Tuck that in. Oh, so cute. So cute. And we can totally be done there, but this little, I don't know what it is, blotchy scatter stamp that I have, I think that just adds one more kind of little layer to it. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit on here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? You can see the little dots there. Adds a little bit of aged. I don't need, what would we even call this? I don't know. Let's see. Where would this kind of get? Yeah. Just where we think it would get little age spots, little rusty age spots. And we're going to kind of come in here. I'm going to add, we'll do a little bit where that postage stamp is. These little details absolutely bring it together. I have it's a little bit different look. I bought another set that has little I don't know, like little abstract kind of things like this stamp, but I want to say a little bit more modern, maybe more like hashtaggy kind of. But I'll have to come up with something that we can use with that. Yeah, I think that's it. So look at that. Hopefully that comes through. You can see the little splatters, and you can do that too with paint, right? You can do with ink. You can do it with the alcohol inks to do the little splatters. I've seen people do that before too. It would give you that same kind of look, but really cool. Really, really cool. And we are done. So that's the one that we made today. And where's the card? It's so messy here. I don't know what I did with it. Did not know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. So again, it's the perfect size, I thought, to hold a little gift card, a little love note. Tuck some money in, maybe for your kids, or something cute for them to wake up to on Valentine's Day. Just something fun, just something that you love them. Your little thought would be very sweet for a neighbor, or somebody that just needs that, you know, I'm thinking about you, you're loved, you're thought of, that cool thing. And there it is. That's the one we made today. These were the ones that were in the thumbnail. I think they turned out really cute. Yay! It's exciting. And let's see, I'm going to turn this around. Whoops, let me change it first, and then I'll just talk really quick. This is and apologies. This has not been a normal day. The day did not go as planned. You know, I'm running out to get my son, but this is real life. We're, you know, we got to roll with the punches and the weather and everything. This is the real thing. So let's see. What did I want to say really quick? I wanted to say, let me turn I have that break reminder on here. So let's see. I think that Mary Ancestral Beginnings, I think she has a sale tonight at 8 o'clock. Leanne probably knows. So I wanted to say that. Hopefully, I'm not sure how the day will go, but I would love to be at Mary's sale today. And speaking of Mary, I don't want to get it dirty, but look at this cute little notebook. I hope she makes more. I had bought one as a gift, and I gifted it. I don't know what's in there. I don't know. I wrote something in there, but it has a little notepad. These are so cute. I told Mary, you need to make more. Is that the most adorable thing? And then she sent me this one and gifted me this one, and I love it. It's always here at my craft desk. And look at how she stamped. I think it's a little rubber stamp, but anyway, very cute. I hope she makes more, because they're like the perfect gift. And if you're watching the replay, Mary, we missed you. I know she had some things she was doing today. I think maybe Crafty Friday is tomorrow. Is it tomorrow, Leanne? Do you know if Helen's doing it? I'll try to join in tomorrow. It's usually at 5 p.m., I think. 5 p.m. on Fridays, Eastern. I have an appointment tomorrow afternoon, so I'm not sure if I will be able to make it, but if I can, if I'm home, I definitely will. And let's see, I have lots of Valentine tutorials up. So tutorials I had done several years ago. Again, I mentioned I had went back and watched one of my own. So lots of Valentine tutorials up to watch at your leisure. Let's see, I had an idea for a craft for next week, but because I wasn't able to craft at all this week, we were, you know, at the hospital with my mother-in-law and the ER and all that stuff. I wasn't able to get to it. I did try to pull out a few of the supplies this morning, so I'll see if I can, depending on how the week goes. If it's just too crazy and I can't prep a craft for next week, I'll think of something fun. I have all kinds of stuff. We can look through craft magazines. I have some really cool vintage ones. I'll think of something fun for us to do next week. And let's see, the other thing is last week we started our 2024 creative and business goals for the year. We will be doing monthly check-ins. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, you can go back and watch last Thursday's video. It is up. I'm really excited about it. I'm really motivated to kind of take the next step as a crafter, like business. You know, I'm kind of excited about this kind of next chapter and what's in store for 2024. So that's up. We will be doing check-ins the last Thursday of every month for that. And the topic for next month for that, the 2024 goals, we're talking about organization. Maybe how we organize things, our inventory as vintage sellers or as crafters. A lot of us have a lot of crossover. A lot of us do both. we're creative, right? In a lot of different ways. So that will be the topic for next week. And if there's topics that you would like to see us cover, that you've been a little intimidated about, I think Etsy will definitely be something we'll talk about. One and that may be the following one. I would love to have somebody come in that really knows eBay well, and eBay is working well for them, because eBay intimidates me. I've sold a few things years and years ago, but I definitely, yeah, I don't know why. Etsy doesn't scare me in the least. I've been selling on there for 15 years probably, but it's something about eBay. So we'll be covering some fun topics, but I'd love to hear what you guys would like to talk about. Jody, hey Jody, and Erin. Hi Erin, welcome. I haven't talked to Jody yet, but I'm hoping Joni might come on sometime. I know daytime is hard for her during the day, but Joni, if you guys aren't already following her, has a wonderful YouTube channel, and she is rocking it on Etsy. She has a beautiful, beautiful Etsy store, and Joni, she is, yeah, we love talking business, and that's kind of something we're both passionate about, and she is phenomenal. She's a beautiful shop. I don't know what I want to say. She's smashing it. she's smashing it. So yeah, maybe I haven't even talked to her. It's been so crazy this week, but anyway, maybe we can have Joni come on sometime and talk about Etsy and different stuff. That would be it's funny. So anyway, okay, I have to run out and grab my son from school. Jody, I'll text you later, catch you up on the craziness that is the day. She's probably gonna say, why are you picking him up? He's driving now. And that's it. I think that's it. So love you all. I will put a thumbnail up hopefully by early in the week. I'll post on Instagram, so make sure you're watching me on Instagram. That's sort of where everything is. That's how you kind of stay informed of what's going on. But I'll have a thumbnail up for next week. And if it's a craft, I'll have the supplies in the description, and we will go from there. But if not, I'll think of something super fun for us to do next week that I think that we will enjoy. And that's it. All right, everybody, thank you for being here. And if you watch the replay, thank you as well. And if you love this content, please subscribe. It's free to do so. I'm also trying to grow my subscribership, and leave a comment. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. And I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you.